back. I need to call it That's It. That's it. Roll call. That'll bring some memories to some of you. Hello and welcome. This is Dave LaCroix for The Voice of Scientology. If you haven't been here before, this is something new. We got a new idea on what to do, what to present as a podcast type of thing. I've had a channel on YouTube for quite a few years under Scientolopedia, but I added this because I realized that nobody was speaking up for the subject of Scientology. Nobody was really putting out material, educational, opinion, whatever. Scientologists are, a lot of Scientologists in the world, and they don't have a voice. We have, and I might as well get into it. This may trigger you some, but this is about the subject of Scientology. It's not about the Sea Org, the Church of Scientology, Fair Game, Disconnection, David Miscavige, any of that nonsense. Not going to find it here. In fact, I'll give you a warning right now that viewer discretion is advised. If you're looking for all that chaos about the Church of Scientology, then this may not be for you. It's about the subject. And the subject is a big, beautiful thing. And that's what we're going to talk about. Today, well, I appreciate you being here, first of all, and your interest in the subject of Scientology. A lot of people like myself been around it for years, and we love it. It's a great subject. L. Ron Hubbard was a great man. Not perfect, I know all that. You don't have to educate me. You can save your comments on that. But a genius and a great man for what he did to develop the pathway for people to increase their spiritual knowledge, their spiritual freedom. So anyway, that's what we're talking about. That's what this show's going to be about. Hit like, subscribe, kick in a few shekels if you feel inclined to help us out. It costs money and time and takes a bit to produce something like this. So links will be below. Anyway, today we're going to talk about the tone scale. The tone scale you may have heard of. Some of you may be experts at it or a lot of familiarity with it, but I'm going to tackle it from a little different angle, show you where you can find unique information about the tone scale. We're not going to just go into the scale itself, but the Hubbard chart of attitudes that comes with the book Science of Survival. The book Science of Survival is the Bible for the tone scale, and the chart of attitudes that comes with that book. I'm going to show you where you can find that and use it and how you use it, because it's real enlightening to find out that you can know as much as you can know about people once you spotted them on where they sit on the tone scale. You can see their actual thought patterns, their interests, how are they going to be truthful? Are they going to lie? Are they going to be productive? Are they going to be a good employee? All these kind of things come out of knowing what tone level someone is at. And I'm going to show you where you can find that stuff. So we're going to get right to it, but first I think we should hear from the old man. Let's hear what L. Ron Hubbard has to say about certain tones.
But basically all a newspaper is trying to do to you is worry you. That is the total dramatization of the press. Worry. We've taped something else here in the not too distant past, which is anxiety and fear. These have been the stock and trade of the hypnotist, the messiah, the hocus pocus, the prestidigitosis, the medical doctor. They've all been talking for a long time about anxiety and fear. And if you can get anxious enough, we can collect our fee. No, I don't say that's their motto. It isn't written on their doors. I've exaggerated if I've given that. It's hidden.
Way to go, LRH. Now, he's talking about anxiety and fear, and I don't know if you caught it, but the hypnotist, the Messiah, and the medical doctor, these are people that are, and of course the news media, are promoters of anxiety and fear. He likes to say words funny once in a while. It's his little bit of humor. If you listen to him enough, you know that he likes to throw in these little curves that are humorous. He entertains himself, I think. But anyway, it's anxiety and fear, which we see a lot of. No shortage of that on the news media and every channel you might pick up. And then, of course, going into the medical doctors, I could go on, and probably will go on about that. Yeah, good friend, a Class 8 auditor, Chris Black, came under the realm of medical doctors during the COVID era, and they killed him. They gave him remdesivir and intubated him and put him on a vent. That was a standard protocol for handling people with COVID. Remdesivir caused heart problems. The intubation was very uncomfortable and caused reduced breathing, and then they put him on a ventilator where they just suffocate to death. So they killed hundreds of thousands that way. And Chris Black, unfortunately, was a very good friend to me and to the channel and to Scientolopedia, to SEMWork. So I've got some things to say about medical doctors, but that would take us on a diversion I don't want to go on to right now. But anyway, LRH is not kidding when he says, the news media, the Messiah, and so forth. Now that's an interesting one. That would that could really stir up some trouble. We'll touch it though, but not today. Anyway, the idea that these lower tones like anxiety and fear are things that you can know about and spot, and then don't go to that doctor. Don't go to that auto repair shop. Don't marry that person that is in those lower tones. In other words, this is your life, can be life and death to you. Well, how well you know this stuff about the tone scale. So I'm going to give you a little eye-opener, a little guidance, and then you're going to have to do some work to learn more about it. Okay? Anyway, first thing I'll take you to is a website that, of course, I'm partial to because I built it. But it was built for this express purpose of being able to display things like the tone scale. Now, if you look at it's Scientolopedia.org. That's Scientolopedia.org. And this is the homepage, right on the homepage. We don't wait for show you the secret stuff later. This is the secret stuff right here, right in front. And if you go from the homepage and scroll down a bit, let me get this set up a little better. Okay. And just a bit to the first row on the left, where it says free seminar. That's the world famous tone scale seminar by Mark Scheffler. Friend of mine. He probably won't be happy I mispronounced his name, but anyway, sorry, Mark. Anyway, that's a link to his tone scale seminar, and he brought that around the world to businesses and organizations, and lots of people, learned a great deal from that seminar, and you will too. You can sit right there in your bathrobe in your living room or in your wherever and get brought up to date on the tone scale by clicking on that seminar link. And you'll have a laugh while you're at it, because he's a very funny guy. So that's the first resource for you to find regarding the tone scale, and you'll learn some things that you didn't know. Scroll down a little bit, a couple more rows down, and you'll see, I'm not going to go into this too much, but I got to tell you where it is. It says L. Ron Hubbard, Science of Survival, Altered Materials. In 2007, the church released the books, L. Ron Hubbard's books, new versions of the books, and they just brutally massacred them. They told everybody that they had improved and corrected things and so forth, which is a big fat lie. If you click on this link to the L. Ron Hubbard Altered Materials link, it'll show you side by side the original Science of Survival versus the new 2007 version. So original versus 2007, side by side, bit by bit. It's a breakdown that'll blow your mind. How could they alter that book so much? And the book is vital for understanding the tone scale, because it's in 1951, L. Ron Hubbard not only came up with the tone scale, but he laid out, there's a chart that's included with this book when you download it. And I'll show you how to download it in a minute. But a chart of human evaluation is called, and it gives 50 different segments or areas of comparison by tone level. In other words, this tone, this characteristic by, let's say, for example, on the handling of truth. Is somebody truthful at this tone level? And it goes down by the point at the lower tones, they're just total liars. Well, you should know that, because you're going to deal with people in business or relationships or getting your car repaired, whatever, who are at these various tones, and it's better for you to know what they're up to and what they're likely, how they're likely to respond in certain areas before you get involved with them. So anyway, that's a vital link right there. It's killing two birds with one stone. It gives you more information about the book Science of Survival, and it has the comparison from the original book to these altered versions in 2007. Go down on the home page of Scientolopedia a little bit further, and over here on the last column, a little over to the right, is the book How to Choose Your People by a lady named Ruth Minchell. Now think about that. How to choose your people. You can choose who you associate with, who your friends are, who your partner is in life. And knowing the tone scale is vital. Could be life or death, actually. I mean, if you get down to certain circumstances. But anyway, that's a great book. You click on that book and it'll take you to that book where you can download it. It's on our website, and it's totally free. All these things are free, by the way. Your wonderful host created this with the idea that people needed links and access to these materials. So not that the church didn't appreciate that very much, but whatever. At that point, I didn't care what they, if their feelings were hurt. Anyway, so if we come to this first page again on the website, and we click on the upper right search box and type in the tone scale. Just type that in right up there in the search box. There's other ways to get there and find it, but that's the way I'm taking you right now. So it'll come up in just a second. All right, so then we get to the website, the tone scale. You see along the right-hand side here, there's a table of contents. This is access to a lot of these things, like the book. The book that I mentioned, How to Choose Your People. It's the fifth one down in that column, and I'll show you some other things about that. But as we scroll down, we see the tone scale. Tone scale in full. When in 1951, when L. Ron Hubbard wrote Science of Survival, he had from 4 down to 0. Then it was expanded somewhere in the early 60s, I think, to starting at 40, which is serenity of beingness. That's nice, huh? And it goes on down to, well, here's 4.0 is enthusiasm. That's pretty good. That's pretty high tone. And then you come on down the line. This is where it gets a little spooky. And you hit down, 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 0.0. That's body death. Now, I'm going to say one thing about all these tones. You need to get a dictionary out and look up these words of the definition of these different tones, because there's some work involved in putting into that so you understand them. But for today, I'm just going to show you where you can find it. You can print this off and make copies of it and that sort of thing. Have it on the wall. Come back to it. And I'm going to show you something about, when we get to the chart of human evaluation, how you can pin each one of these tones to that chart, and you can really know people in a way that's spooky. In fact, I'll just interject this here. I think the tone scale scares the hell out of people. A lot of the people that attack and criticize Scientology, I think they're spooked by this tone scale. They're afraid Scientologists might spot where they're at. Well, we can. So you can't get away from it. That tone scale is going to work for the rest of eternity. And anyway, but you come on down to these tones, and you go at 0.0 is body death. Well, how can there be tones below that? Well, there are, because you're dealing with immortal spiritual beings here who, even with the body still kind of chugging along, their emotional tone, their attitude is below death. And that's what we have below that 0.0. It goes on down to minus 40. Remember, we started at plus 40. Now it's minus 40, which is total failure. So we go from serenity of beingness down to total failure. And all the stops, the bus stops everywhere in between. Now, there's some good news with this. If you happen to see something that looks like maybe your sour demeanor right at the moment, or you have a tendency to be in certain tones, I'm going to show you at the end of this 5 ways that you can use, and there's more than that, but 5 simple things you can do to raise your tone. And the fact that somebody falls into a particular tone, let's say they get pissed off at a driver on the freeway, and they go into anger momentarily, but then they pop back out of it. So there's tones that are called, there's chronic tones, and then there's just fleeting, short-term visit at that tone level. But nevertheless, we've all experienced a lot of these. I'm going to focus on a couple that are familiar. Like at 1.5 we have anger. And then if you've been around Scientologists a bit, you know this 1.1 one. It's called covert hostility. That's a real nasty one, because that's the sneaky, guy that really secretly means to do you harm, but pretends to be all friendly and all nice. So anyway, let me show you that here in a second. But I just wanted to show you this page where you can find this tone scale in full. You can start off, remember we started to search the tone scale, and it'll bring you here. And then over on the table of contents on the right, we have the book How to Choose Your People. And that is the one that I pointed out that has a great book about real examples for the tone scale. So that'll help boost you. If you go to this book, How to Choose Your People, it'll give you some in-depth, examples, better than I'm doing right now. And it'll come up, and it'll the link to download it, or the whole thing is right here on this page, and so you can go from chapter 1 on out. So that's a great resource on the tone scale right there. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple of things real quick here. Examples of how this chart of human evaluation and the tone scale come together. So the first thing I want to do is show you an image from that tone scale. And here we go. That section that was on that expanded tone scale, this has got the 1.5 anger and the 1.1 covert hostility. These are two problematic tones because we run into a lot of anger in our society and a lot of covert crap people are trying to pull on us, whether it's in business or in relationships and friends. You know, it just can drive you nuts, and it's very annoying. But anyway, let's have a look at the chart of attitudes on that band. Now these columns, there's this chart of human evaluation has 50 columns like this. This particular one that I've highlighted has to do with handling truth. How is this person, how do they handle truth? And so we can see, not very good. So the column that is highlighted, that has to do with handling truth, like I said. So the anger person, at the anger tone level, they'll use blatant and destructive lying. It's just part of their normal SOP, standard operating procedure. So not a good choice for going into business, but not as bad as the one down, which is 1.1. That's the covert hostility. How do they handle the truth? Well, they use ingenious and vicious perversions of truth, covers lying artfully. Artfully covers lying. Have you ever known somebody like that is very artful in their ability to cover up their lies? Well, that's your 1-1, and that's just one example of one of the 50 columns in that chart of human evaluation. Now let me show you how you get to that. So we come back to the home page of the website, and what we're looking for is the book Science of Survival. I'm going to show you a way to get there. There's several. You can just type it in the search box, or you can come over here to the library, because we've got a lot of books in the library, naturally. I mean, if you're looking for books, where do you go? You go to the library, right? Anyway, so you go to the library and you scroll down and you'll find a listing, a table of all the Scientology books we have on the site. They're alphabetical, so Science of Survival would be the next page. I happen to know that. But so you come down to where it says More Books and go to the next page, which will have the book Science of Survival on it. We scroll down, and the second one, or no, the third one listed is Science of Survival. So just click on that, obviously, and that'll take us to the page for the book Science of Survival. Now you get a free download right from here. It gives you the PDF format. And I mentioned that chart of attitudes because that is a key piece of this book in understanding tone levels. So it's in the back of that book, that PDF download. The full thing you can print it out is a couple of pages worth, because there's 50 columns of different attitudes, different ways of evaluating human beings. Now, but if you scroll down here, that's broken into 4 separate downloads, or 4 separate sections. The first download is the columns A through L, and then you've got M through V, etc. So all 50 columns are there, and you can take them separately or all three and print them off and have it handy. I find hard copy easier to use than online, but if you come here and want to just download it, that can work too. But this is where you find that, so I wanted to make sure you knew how to get that chart of human evaluation. So this is just a little sample of what those columns look like. I thought I'd show you. This one has that section on truth, but other columns. So I encourage you to look at this chart of human evaluation and study it. All right, now I'm going to take you back to the page where we have the tone scale. I think I already mentioned, but the better approach to this tone scale is to realize that everybody touches different tones at different times. So don't get all in a frump if you see yourself here on a low tone thing. The key is to not be in a chronic tone, and there's ways. I'm going to give you a couple ways here in just a second on how you can raise your tone if you feel like this is not where you want to live. And but anyway, so being mobile on the scale is what we're after, and lots of things can help that. A couple of the ones, or a few of the ones I'm going to give you today, will help that. And of course, auditing and training in Scientology raises tone. So let's go up to the top, and I'm going to give you number 5 here first of all. Where is it? Okay, it's called The Joy of Creating, and it's right there on that list of things on the right-hand side of this page, of the tone scale page. And that will bring up this joy of creating. Now this is number 5. This is something you can do right now, right this minute, anytime, any day, and use it to bring yourself up tone, if you're so inclined. If you like it in the basement, then by all means, enjoy yourself. Just kidding, of course. But the joy of creating is something written by L. Ron Hubbard, and it goes like this. Force yourself to smile, and you'll soon stop frowning. Excuse me. Force yourself to smile, and you'll soon stop frowning. Force yourself to laugh, and you'll soon find something to laugh about. Wax enthusiastic, and you'll very soon feel so. A being causes his own feelings. The greatest joy there is in life is creating. Splurge on it. That's by L. Ron Hubbard. So I'm sure you get the gist of that, but you can force yourself to smile. Now we're going to do a little drill. I want you to, if you're at work, people won't think you're crazy if you just start smiling, or turn your head or something. If you're at home and you got things going on, just force yourself to smile here. I want to see you smile. Come on. You can do it. Do a smile. Come on, give me a smile. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. See, you felt a little better just doing that one little step. Now, you can do that any time of day. Just force yourself to smile. Then it says, force yourself to laugh. Now, I'm not going to get you laughing out loud there with other people around. So just try it when you're by yourself, maybe in your car. Just go, ha, ha, ha. Give it a good laugh. Do that a few times and see if you don't feel like, feel a little better. And then wax enthusiastic, and you'll very soon feel so. Just get excited about something. Come on, your favorite team, or your maybe I don't know, something. You won $5 in the lottery or something, or just make up something. I'm going to Disneyland, even though you're not going to Disneyland. Whatever. It don't matter. But push that tone, enthusiasm. Just use some energy to put it out there, and you'll feel more energetic and more enthusiastic and higher tone. You're welcome. Actually, thanks LRH. He's the one that gave that tip. Now, so I'm going to bring up the rest of the steps that I promised that I would give you today. So here they are. The number 5 is the one that we already did. It's the joy of creating. Make a little note of how you find that, but it's on the tone scale. You can just type out joy of creating on our website and it'll come up. Let's go back up to 1. This take a walk. Now this one is misunderstood. A lot of people say take a walk, in the woods or wherever, it doesn't matter. But they don't really tell you that the best way to take a walk is slowly. We're not doing this for exercise, we're doing this for tone level. If you want to walk for exercise, you need to get your mile or 2 in for the week or something. Then you can walk at whatever pace you want. But for tone level, you want to walk slow and observe things. Notice your environment. Notice the birds, the squirrels, the types of cars that are on the road, or things that you see out there walking slowly, like the ants building their little houses or whatever. Are the birds battling or are they getting along? There's mating season. They're kind of the males are going after each other. Anyway, notice those things. Anything. Slow walk around the block or just down the street. 20 minutes, you'll come back and you'll feel better. More uptone. Clean the house or a room. Now, you go, well, that's just more work. You don't feel like working because you're downtone. If you clean the room or clean the house and do some vacuuming or whatever, you're going to come uptone. You're going to feel better. You're going to say, yeah, that carpet looks better. And you're going to be a little more uptone. We're not going for the whole, serenity of beingness in one shot here. We're going for just getting you to feel a little better, get out of your funk. All right, so complete 3 cycles of action. Scientologists know what a cycle of action is, but it's a start, a change, and then a stop. With that, you have control. You are stopping, or starting, changing, and completing something. Whether it's just getting up off your butt and walking over to the refrigerator and then coming back and sitting down, that's a cycle of action. Probably not the best, don't go loading up on carbs when you're a little down tone. Not the best action. But anything that completes some cycles of action. I don't care whether it's, it can be laundry or can be sweeping out the garage or whatever. It don't matter. Just completing some cycles of action will bring you up tone. And the next one is help a friend. That's something always good to keep in mind, that it feels good to help a friend. Help a little old lady cross the street, or help a single mom who's needs her kids watched for a while or needs a break. Anyway, help a friend. Helping others brings us up tone. It's not the reverse. Others helping us, bringing us up tone. Sure, you're grateful and you feel better if somebody's helping you on something. But the real joy, the real higher toned activity is helping others. So, and then we go back to the joy of creating, which I already showed you. Now, there's other ways to bring yourself up tone and bring others up tone. Through auditing, like I said, through learning more about the tone scale and turning that damn TV off. Stop listening to the drug commercials. And like Ellery said in the beginning here, the doctors lying. It's hidden. They're hidden agendas. It wears you down. It beats you down. So get out of the TV, get out of the house, do these 3 things, or 5 things rather, and you'll come up tone and more consistently up tone. All right, so I appreciate you coming today and watching this. help by liking the video, comment on the video, subscribe, and hit the PayPal or the Patreon dono link down below, because I got lots of ideas, but I need equipment, cameras, lighting, rental on the website, and so forth. There's a lot that goes into keeping this kind of thing going and making it a success. I've got lots of ideas. I want to produce live auditing, do live streaming. Need better equipment and need more support to spend the time to do it all. Anyway, thanks for coming, and I appreciate you, and we will just work our way out of here. So, let me turn the music on if I can find it. Okay, here we go. Thanks again. Appreciate you. Look for more. I've got some great ideas of videos to do, and not enough time, and need some equipment too, like I said. But thanks for showing up. Keep up, stay up tone. Bye for now.